What's up, guys? Welcome to today's ER100. I have an awesome topic for you guys today, and it's all about how to say no without ever using the word "no." Now, I personally believe it's very important for you to learn how to say no without ever actually uttering the words "no," because it's going to be very important for you not only in your business but also personal relationships. Because think about how many times when you're in a situation where that you really don't want to do something, but also you do not want to say no. Because the action of saying no cuts off all conversations from there, as in it's just no, like that's it. It's like there's no other option after that. But when you actually kind of navigate the situation or conversation towards where the other individual says no on something you want it to be no, what actually ends up happening is the conversation still keeps going on. Now, this is a little bit more of a psychological trick that works very well in business, and also when it comes to like children, other different things like that. Of course, I've read this from some psychological books, right? And also I've seen it work very well in my personal life. So now the first thing you want to do when you want to tell a person no is first of all identify what you do not want in that situation. You do not want to generalize everything that a person is talking to you about. Like maybe a person might say, hey, do you want to go out this weekend? And you really do not have the time to go out that weekend. You're going to be able to identify when and what can be able to work. Maybe you do not want to go the entire night out, but maybe you can be able to say, hey, we can be able to catch some dinner because, you know, I have a lot of work later that I gotta catch up and I gotta sleep early because in the morning I have a lot of work I gotta do. That's a good way to say no and still be able to get something out of that situation. And also the other party on the other end is able to see that, hey, this person's not trying to throw shade at all. It's actually that they have other things they gotta work on, and I'm gonna respect their decision. Now, of course, you can be able to do the same thing when it comes to a complete no. A person, let's say for example, when it comes to business, right? A person offers you, let's say for example, $1,000 for your project, and you wanted instead $1,500, and they're offering $1,000. Now, if you tell them no, I can't do that, what's going to happen is the other person's also going to get defensive. They're saying, you can't take my offer? Then no to you as well, you know? Because, you know, that energy is going to be sent back in the same way. So instead, what you want to be able to do is navigate the situation. Tell them, so they're going to be like, let's say, for example, they're like, hey, so what's your offer? And they're like, oh, $1,000. And I'm going to be like, well, that's a really good offer. But I was looking for something that was more fair because you see, right now in our business, we're actually scaling and reinvesting a different few things here and there. And for us to be able to provide you, as in we can do $1,000, but we really want to provide the best quality of services for this product or service that you want. And really, we need that extra $500 just to make sure we can be able to deliver that extra mile that's really going to be able to go above and beyond. Because at the end of the day, I know that you really want a good product, a good service. And looking at competitors in the market, they're offering at this price, and our pricing is so much better because we're going to be able to do more for each and every dollar, because on our side, we're going to make that dollar be multiplied by $3. And the other person's going to be like, interesting. So they're not saying no to my offer. Did I say no? I told them like, hey, $1,000 sounds good and we can do that, but what's more fair is so we can, and then you keep going on why you do not want to do that $1,000 offer. But when you tell the person completely no, there's not going to be any negotiation going on from that end. Then from there on, you can be able to start talking to the person and be able to identify what they really want. So let's say, for example, for that $1,000 they were looking at for, $1,000, they're looking for X amount of services. Then you can be able to be like, you know what, matter of fact, we can do the $1,000, but you know, we really should go for $1,500 on our regular pricing, but you know, let's get a work where you want to be able to meet, so we make sure this deal is very fair for you. So let's look at some of the things you don't really need in this package, and you're able to take some things out of that package where that you're going to be able to take a $1,000 offer, but your actual profit is still going to be the same as it would have been at $1,500. That is how you negotiate a certain situation where a person is not willing to reduce their prices. You never want to say the word "no." Instead, you want to be able to identify what the other person wants. You want to be able to present your situation, and also you're going to present in the format where you're trying to provide the other person value. Always remember, do not talk about what you want, talk about what the other person wants, and trust me, that person will be more open to finding a right price point that you guys can be able to work at. Now, there's the next part when it comes to never saying the word "no." The reason why I don't like the word "no" is because it just stops everything there. But when it comes to negotiating something, it comes where you're kind of trying to meet each other in the middle, or you're trying to offer something at a certain level that still can be able to meet what you wanted from the beginning. So there's another option you can be able to do when it comes to business. The first thing you always want to do is you want the other person to kind of be the one who's going to be giving you a lot of the talking, and then all you want to do is pick out the different keywords and then create a contract out of that situation. So let's say, for example, let's put it in a more personal situation. I'm just making this up as I go. Let's say, for example, a person says like, hey, is it cool for you if you help me move a couple of things this weekend? I need some help here and there, but you can't be able to do that. And instead, what you can be able to do is be like, oh man, I can't really do that this weekend because I have a lot of different things that I really have to do. But actually, matter of fact, I'll talk to that one dude I know who really just likes working out, and he'd probably be happy to help you lift some of those weights that you have in the play situation. Of course, not weights literally, but packages and stuff like that. So in that situation, you're not really trying to do something, right? Because you're busy or whatever it might be, but also you do not want to say no as far as trying to help that person. So what you want to be able to do is look at, hey, I can spend 10-15 minutes and find someone else who can be able to assist them with the moving of the stuff. Now what ends up happening in this situation is if you said no completely, that person in their mind, they'll be like, this person does not even care about me. I'm his friend, I've always been there for them, and they're not helping me right now. Okay, and of course you can't always be there for them because you also have your stuff you have to do. But when you offer a suggestion, you're gonna be able to provide value by assisting them, by finding someone else who can possibly be able to be open to help out. That's a good situation. The person will be like, hey, at least you're trying to help. Okay, you're not saying no, at least you're trying to help. So the same thing if you have like a little kid. I remember when I was a little kid, like, you go to the grocery store and you want some candy, and when your parents say you stomp your foot and you get all mad and stuff like that. But instead, when your parents actually like kind of negotiate with you and they end up saying no without you realizing they ever even say no, you just say like, oh, you want that candy? Well, you see, we can't really get that candy right now, but how about this though? We have a couple chores at home that if you can be able to help out clean those chores, then we can be able to talk about you getting something else. Now, in that situation, you not necessarily say the kid is going to get candy again, but you presented something that you want to get out of that situation, get a few dishes done in the house, and then presented something that's going to leave that kid to open imagination. It's a little kid. And when you say for something else, the kid can be able to run with their imagination. Is it going to be candy? Is it going to be that video game that I really wanted? What is it going to be? What's it going to be? So it's the same thing as adults. We do the same thing. When it comes to a negotiation, when it comes to business, we do the same thing. If a person, for example, says like, hey, look, I was looking to do that offer at $1,000, and you cannot do that offer. Instead, you can be able to be like, you know what? Let's do it at $1,500, but I'm open to throwing up a couple bonuses in there. We're willing to provide more customer support. We're willing to provide X, Z, Y, whatever it might be. Something that might cost you only $50 or $100 in value for yourself, but when you present it, you package it as if like, look, as in, we can't do $1,000, but to just make sure that you get the most out of this deal, we're gonna leave to your imagination on how much more value we can be able to give you up front without you paying an extra dime. So basically what you're doing here is not saying no, and also you're not shaking from what you wanted out of the negotiation. Instead, what you're able to do is kind of discuss with the person until you find the right point where they can be able to work with you at. And trust me, we are human beings. And most of us, when we present something or an offer, we usually do not want a person to say no completely. But when a person is willing to reason with us, talk with us, connect with us, then we end up actually opening up and we end up seeing something that's fair, okay? The word fair is the biggest word you want to be able to use. When you say the word fair, the other person now has to put themselves in your shoes. Because for something to be fair, for someone to interpret something as fair, they have to look at it from your perspective. So when you say the word no completely, it doesn't even let the other person to even understand where you're coming from. So when you have a little kid and the kid wants candy and is just yapping and yelling, and instead you just say no, does the kid stop? The kid gets more mad and frustrated and probably cause more chaos. But if you tell the kid, hey, how about we find something that's a little bit more fair for you, and we can be able to get something later if you do this and that, or maybe we'll get it another time because I feel like it's going to be more fair because, we can't get it right now. So when you say something is fair, or when you say something we can do later, or you can open up their imagination to another different aspect of what they can get out later without you compromising what you wanted to do, that, my friend, is how you get a person to say yes, even though initially they would have said no. Now you can work the same reverse psychology when you're now on the other side of the table. Now you're trying to bring the price down to $1,000 instead of you wanting to pay $1,500, right? Now when you bargain with a person, you do not want to bargain with fear and threat and all those different things. Those things don't really work very well because the other person will get very defensive. Instead, what you want to be able to do is once again find a way to let that other person say yes to your deal without them feeling like they're compromising on everything they're trying to stand for. So you can be able to break down those different ways. I know we just covered a lot of different things here, especially on the psychological part, but that would probably be another topic for later. But today, since I'm a business person, I'm trying to get the other person to, give me that good price deal. So that's what I wanted to cover on this video instead. Okay, guys? Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you guys are able to enjoy it and like it. So yeah, a peace to the out. And by the way, I hope this video was able to make sense, because I know when it comes to like psychological topics in business, it can be able to get kind of lost in the whole different comparisons, right? That's why I try to provide different examples as far as from business, as far as from talking to a little kid, and also as far as doing interacting with your friends and stuff like that. So I hope this video was able to make sense and also help you out when it comes to negotiating other different deals and also in your personal life as well. All right? Thank you very much for watching this video. Peace to the out.